The question is anyone going to look at them? I mean, we haven't gotten them yet. I mean, we're not confident the FBI looked at all the emails that were available to look at that may have been from Hillary Clinton to her or from her server generally, because we know that Yuma Abedin, her top aide, Anthony Weiner's then wife, had an email account on her system, which is why they were on the Weiner laptop somehow. And we want the FBI and Justice Department to do a real investigation of the Hillary Clinton email scandal. And all of this is coming out, Wayne, and it just highlights what more detail on what we already know. It was a sham investigation, and this Justice Department has been completely silent on what they're going to do about the criminality that had been exposed related to Hillary Clinton. What are they going to do about it? Have you heard them say what they're going to do about it? I haven't.
I remember when you were the one who fought for me when I was getting attacked by the IRS under Barack Obama, and I was a big critic in the news and on Fox News. Right. And suddenly the IRS is after me, and you got all their information. You got all my IRS records. And you and I basically have clear proof that I was targeted and persecuted for my political beliefs. What was ever done about that? Nothing, right? Not a thing.
No. In fact, the IRS investigation, the idea that there might be a subsequent IRS investigation under the Trump administration, was specifically shut down by the Justice Department. It's one of their first acts in office.
Craziest thing. I mean, Trump's done a great job, but that's one where I think he's fallen short. I mean, he did nothing. He never, ever in any way punished the IRS commissioner, allowed him to retire. I'm sure he retired with a big fat pension, no problem there. Lois Lerner was never prosecuted. Amazing to me. I just don't get it. I don't know why Trump's been so good on everything else, but not on that. Any idea, by the way, on your?
I think he's surrounded by lawyers and advisors who don't want him to do the things that presidents ought to be able to do, which is to direct law enforcement operations in the Justice Department to make sure that justice is be done. No one wants to put their thumb on the scales, but we at least want honest investigations, and the Justice Department doesn't even want to do that because this Justice Department thinks it's not answerable to anybody, the president, Congress, or the American people.
What are your thoughts on the Mueller investigation of Fusion GPS co-founder Glenn Simpson pleading the Fifth before the House Judiciary Committee?
Well, that's a Mueller witness pleading the Fifth. No Glenn Simpson, no Fusion GPS means no dossier, means no Mueller special counsel. This is one of the big, and even our friends don't want to do this, which is confront Mueller directly. The only one willing to confront Mueller directly is the president. Congress doesn't want to do it. Judicial Watch is asking tough questions about Mueller. So when Glenn Simpson takes the Fifth, it's like their star witness is taking the Fifth because it's his work product that is the basis and has been pursued by the Mueller investigation. It was the basis for spy warrants targeting real Donald Trump.
It's just crazy. It just seems like
I don't even call him president anymore. I just call him by his Twitter handle, I guess. Huh?
It's crazy. It's one man against the whole world, it seems like sometimes. And with a few, if he's the guy scoring the goal, there's a few assists. Wayne Rudin and Tom Fitton are certainly there fighting and yelling and screaming all day long. But, I mean, it just seems like it's basically like the movie The 300. It's Trump against the world. The whole Washington is so corrupt. It boggles my mind. What do you say about my comment that the whole Washington is against Trump and the whole Washington's dirty and the whole Washington is a swamp? And you've seen it all much more up close than me.
I think you're right, and that's why the president's so frustrated, because he's virtually alone in fighting against Mueller. You've got outside groups like Judicial Watch who are asking tough questions and being critical. But on the inside, no one's doing anything to control the Mueller operation. Congress isn't providing any oversight. Mueller hasn't been asked any questions about how he's administered his agency or his operation, about his hiring, about his decision not to hire any Republicans, about Peter Strzok, the corrupted FBI agent who was on his team for months, was leading the Russia investigation, then kicked off the team by Mueller, told no one about it for 4 months. No one asked him any questions about that. His misuse and use of the DNC dossier to target Trump, is he using that? Basic administrative issues. How much money is he spending? When is it going to end? I've never seen a special counsel operate with so little oversight and little public accountability and so little transparency.
Yeah, well, because when you got the media on your side, you can do kind of anything you want, and they just bury it, right? I mean,
and when you have Congress afraid of you,
right,
and Justice Department officials essentially letting you run the show, I call him King Mueller. I mean, he's king of the Justice Department. He's king in this town, and the only one. And as you point out, The only politician willing to call it say the king has no clothes is President Trump.
Yeah, I mean, look, the thing that saddens me the most is I sure thought that Jeff Sessions was on our team, and the minute he got named Attorney General, he's not on our team, and I don't know why. I don't know if he's being blackmailed. I don't know if he's part of the deep state. I don't know if he's part of the swamp. I don't know if he's just chicken and scared of his own shadow, but I sure do believe that Sessions is a bad guy now who's in the pocket of the bad guys. It sure seems like he's paralyzed by inaction and refuses to act. I mean, I don't mind if there's an investigation against my president. Let the chips fall where they may. I mind that there isn't also, while he's president, there should be investigations against Mueller and the people doing the investigating. There should be investigations against the IRS scandal, investigations against Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation, investigations against John Kerry, why he was running around the world negotiating on behalf of the United States without any permission to do so, violating the Hatch Act, I think it's called. There should be a million other investigations, and there are none against the other guys. We're the ones in power, and the investigations seem like they're all against us. Don't you find that a little absurd?
Well, even more absurd, why is the Justice Department investigating its boss, President Trump, for official acts related to the Justice Department? The firing of Comey? His communications with foreign nationals as President of the United States? It's absurd. It's a constitutional absurdity for the Justice Department to think that it's above the President and can subject him to scrutiny the way it's proposing the way it has. And someone's got to kind of restore the constitutional order.
Well, the scuttlebutt I hear, and I'm sure you get much better intel than I do, being where you're located versus me in Las Vegas. But
you'll be surprised.
It certainly seems obvious that after November 6th, Sessions is gone, sometime between November 6th and the end of the year, and we'll have a new Attorney General. The question is, who could you name that would stand up to all these terrible people?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if Sessions is going to be gone. I don't know what's going to happen after November. I just presume, the past is the best indication of the future. I know that's a bad policy for if you're investing, but it's a pretty good one for politics.
Well, look. I
have a feeling it's going to be. I have a feeling it's going to be more of the same. We may have changes in personnel,
but unless
these personnel are willing to grapple directly with Mueller, things will go on.
Well, I mean, it depends what happens on November 6th. I mean, I've been on record for way before Rush Limbaugh today. For a month, I've been on record saying there's not a blue wave, there's a red storm, and that we're going to win a lot of Senate races no one thought we'd win, and we're going to pick up many Senate seats, and we're going to hold our own in the House and keep our lead there. And if that happens, Democrats are going to be a state of disarray, depression, and shock on November 7th. Mm. And I think Trump's going to have a mandate to kind of do what he wants and fire Sessions. Seems to me if we win, you can do what you want, Donald Trump. You don't have to worry about anything. The people elected Republicans again and repudiated Democrats again.
My advice is always do the right thing. No matter what happens in an election, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, with a politician, you certainly do the right thing more often when you win. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it's easier.
The other side. All right, Tom Fitton, president of Judicial Watch. His website, judicialwatch.org, an all-around great guy, one of the few people who fights for justice in this country, fights for the rule of law, fights for the U.S. Constitution, and he's fought for Wayne Allen Root. When he didn't have to, he volunteered to do it. He's a great guy, and I owe him. I owe him big time. Love you, Tom. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome, Wayne. Thank you. Bye-bye.
He's a real hero. Great guy, Tom Fitton. All of you should donate to judicialwatch.org. You really should, because they are doing the fighting that our own DOJ and our own Jeff Sessions, Attorney General, will not do. He's always digging, finding out facts that others are scared of. Tom Fitton, good guy, judicialwatch.org. Wayne Allen Root, War Now, USA Radio. We'll be right back.